through the teams again ahead of kick-off. For AFC Wimbledon, Nick Sanem is their goalkeeper. Isaac Ogundere, Joe Lewis, Ryan Johnson and Lee Brown are their back four. James Tilley, Jake Reeves, James Ball and Aaron Sassu in midfield. And up front, Ali Al-Hamadi and Harry Pell. For Coventry, Bradley Collins is in goal. Back three of Ryan Howley, Joel Latibodje and Lewis Binks. Milan van Ewijk, Liam Kelly, Gus Hamer and Jake Bidwell are their midfield forward. Tatsuhiro Sakamoto playing in behind the aforementioned Matt Godden and Haji Wright. And the benches for Wimbledon: Bass, Davison, Nurfield, Little, Pierce, McLean, Bugil, Sutcliffe and Williams. For Coventry, Moore, De Silva, Sims, Sheaf, Eccles, Palmer, Ecosa, Obwiku and Perry. So options on both benches and things are not going their way. You slightly surprised that Gus Hamer's starting tonight, Sam?
I am a little, yeah. A lot of speculation about him, Dan. It looks like something may happen in the next week or two. I'm really pleased he is playing. I think he's superbly talented.
He's a treat to watch.
He's brilliant on Sunday. Played a couple of passes that just split Leicester City completely open. Became such a huge player. I think probably about Christmas time last year, his importance for Coventry was so great in those playoffs, and obviously got himself a goal in the finals, right? And probably ultimately him having to be withdrawn, that could arguably why Coventry are still in the Championship this year. I think he's that important, and in a game between two evenly matched sides as it was against Luton Town at Wembley, he could have been a difference maker.
Interesting that there's players on both sides who've got admiring glances from elsewhere. Ali Al-Hamadi, the number 10 and centre forward for AFC Wimbledon, is much courted by sides further up the pyramid, and we've talked about Hamer attracting interest. Leeds United, I think, are one of the main sides linked with Gus Hamer. We'll see how that plays out. We've only got 3 weeks until the window shuts, 3 weeks or so. But we're ready for the off on talksport 2. Andrew Kitchen, our referee, just waiting for the word from the touchline that he can get things underway. And Coventry will be attacking towards the cherry red records end to our left hand side, which is where their Coventry fans are stationed this evening. You heard the blast of the whistle, and we're off and running in this first round Carabao Cup tie. 90 minutes, or if things are level, a penalty shootout to decide who goes through to the draw for round 2, which follows tonight's first round ties. And the ball's fired up to Sakamoto, who's caught in midfield by Jake Reeves, a recent arrival at AFC Wimbledon. So Coventry get a free kick. Beautiful late evening sunshine, meaning a good 3/4 of the pitch is in shade, but that is still bathed in sunlight is beautifully bathed in that evening sunshine. Ball's clipped down the Coventry right hand side, but headed away by Lee Brown, the former Pompey left back. Now James Tilley in the centre circle for AFC Wimbledon, strokes it out to Aaron Sassu. First chance for him to have a run at Ryan Howley. He's got the better of him, pulls it back. Tilley puts it wide for the penalty spot. Massive chance for James Tilley inside a minute. Aaron Sassu, the creator, the rangy midfielder down the left hand side, did ever so well. Pulled it back. Tilley running onto it, steered it wide, 0-0.
Brilliant move, wasn't it? Tilley tucking in off the right hand side, picked it up, centre of the park, lovely spread to Sassu, and Harry Pell near post should have scored, and then Tilley on the far post likewise. Gilt-edged opportunity inside the opening couple of minutes, but what a beautiful Wimbledon move.
Just arrived from Crawley Town, James Tilley. They've had a bit of a habit of taking players from Crawley, other sides in League 2. We were with Gillingham last night, who took Ashley Nadasan and also Tom Nichols. Now Coventry coming forward for the first time with Liam Kelly. Tucks the ball in field to the inventive Hamer. Just floats the ball out to the right hand side. Van Ewijk making his first start tonight. Milan Van Ewijk in the right wing back position. But Coventry lose possession. Strong challenge in midfield from Harry Pell. But Coventry win it back, and Hamer tries to fire the ball right to left to pick out on the left hand side The striker had you right, but he can't find him, and the ball's just stumped downfield, collected by the Coventry keeper. Bradley Collins, who's another recent arrival, just came after over 115 appearances at Barnsley, former Chelsea youth. Like Sam Parkin, really. 2 minutes gone, 0-0. Sakamoto can't keep the ball in play on this near side. Wimbledon get a throw.
Yeah, Ryan Howley, young Coventry centre-half's been skinned by Sasu in that opening move, the opening opportunity for AFC Wimbledon, and then Harry Pearl was absolutely skived him down as well just a moment or so ago. So interesting to see Harry reacts in particular to Sasu getting the better of him straight away in a one-on-one situation. I thought that would be an interesting battle. Sasu's really impressed me in pre-season. That was a really brilliant first bit of involvement for him wide on the left-hand side.
Yeah, you did warn me about Aaron Sasu and how good he could be. AFC Wimbledon Academy graduate who's been called up by the Norwegian youth sides, internationally speaking. Oh, Sakamoto, the Japanese, bursting through midfield for Coventry, but that's really good tracking back by Al-Hamadi to rob the ball off Sakamoto, and then he bursts over halfway. Sasu lays it off to Jake Reeves, and Wimbledon now attacking down their left-hand side with Lee Brown. Sasu goes again, taking Ryan Howley out with him. Once again, dips the shoulder and temporarily gets away from Howley, but he's forced to go back to Lee Brown. And Coventry are just forced to put it out of play for a throw-in on the far side. 0-0 on talksport 2.
Yeah, great opening. Sakamoto's had the ball fired into him twice. Touch has been absolutely immaculate. Little pirouette. If it wasn't for, as you said, Dan, some brilliant hard work from Al-Hamadi tracking back, Coventry would have been in business. But great action, and Al-Hamadi showing his quality as well, driving his team forward.
Yeah, he went through the gears as he ran through halfway with the ball at his feet, Ali Al-Hamadi. Ball's out of play. We'll keep you in touch with goals in the other ties tonight. There's games at Bristol City, Cardiff City, Ipswich Town, Leeds United. They're all underway. Burton Albion gets underway at 8 o'clock against Leicester, and Rangers in the third qualifying round for the Champions League. They're at home to Servette, the Swiss side, tonight. That's just got underway at Ibrox as well. So we'll keep you updated tonight on talksport 2 with all of that. But it's 0-0 with 4 minutes gone at the Cherry Red Records Stadium. It's a bit of a tongue twister, that. Plough Lane is slightly easier. Now, diagonal ball from Gus Hamer, looking to get Hadji right in the game. Chests it down for Matty Godden, gives it back to Wright. Couldn't get the power behind the shot. Turned inside the area, looked favourite to get a good strong shot on, but just couldn't connect, and made the save very easy for Nick Zaneff. 0-0.
I think he should score there, Dan. He just doesn't catch it at all. The positive for Coventry City is the combination between the front two, and they're such a great example of Hamer's quality, because he wants to play forward all the time before the opposition is set. Wimbledon didn't expect it there.
Harry Pell works it down the left-hand touch line back to halfway, and it's clipped forward by Ryan Johnson. Coventry win it back, but Pell steps in again, helped out by Lee Brown, but the ball goes out of play for a throw. Johnny Jackson was once a Coventry player. He had a loan spell in late 2003, scored a couple of times actually, scored on his debut against Palace and a winner against West Bromwich Albion, but then he was recalled by his parent club. So he does have something of a connection with the team he's facing this evening. Johnny Jackson, who saw his team finish 21st in League 2 last season after relegation, got into the EFL back in 2011 after working their way through the divisions after their reformation. Rangers have the lead against Servette. James Tavernier with the opening goal at Ibrox. Good start for Michael Beale and co after that wretched opening weekend in the SPFL where they lost to Kilmarnock. 0-0 here on talksport 2 in southwest London. Jake Bidwell coming forward for Coventry, swings a cross in from the left hand side, but it's behind both Godden and Wright, and it's hooked away by Lee Brown, and Aaron Sasu, this young academy graduate, strides towards halfway but showed too much of that to Ryan Howley and then fouled Howley, so it's a free kick to Coventry City just inside the Wimbledon half. 0-0. Sam Parkin.
Yeah, and Wimbledon have been ever so brave. They're going in and really getting over after Coventry when they're trying to play out. They were starting to make Scarborough's tick.
Bidwell with another deep cross, looking for a header from Godden, who was clattered into as he got the header away from Lee Brown. It's only a goal kick in the end, and Godden slowly picks himself up maybe slightly winded from the fall, but he got underneath there and really couldn't get over the top of it. 0-0.
I'm not suggesting that should be a penalty, but it's such clever defending from Lee Brown, and outside the box you probably get that given for a little nudge, just as Matty Godden's prized to head that back in the direction of which it came. Lee Brown just sticks his elbow into Matty Godden's ribs. He'd have felt that. Good opportunity though.
Goal kick sent downfield by Nick Sanef. Flicks on halfway, and James Tilley was after it. He had the best chance of the opening couple of minutes for AFC Wimbledon. In slides Ryan Johnson. Good challenge as well, because Sakamoto was almost onto it. That was a full-blooded challenge by the AFC Wimbledon centre-half. And his partner at the back there, Joe Lewis, another recent arrival, gets it out to Ogundere, the right back. Now, first time ball from Lewis downfield. We're going to get Al Mohammadi in behind. Al Mohammadi is in behind Latibudje for a moment, but the ball just bounced away from him. And the goalkeeper, Brad Collins, was able to grab onto it. 0-0.
Another good example of what AFC Wimbledon can do. They're keeping the ball quite nicely. As soon as a little bit of pressure is applied onto Lewis, just turns it down the side, but it's more than just a punt. That's a good, intelligent ball into the channel, because he knows that Al Mohammadi will read that. He's sharp across the ground. Latibudje just about dealt with it for Coventry. He actually defended it really well. Looked like the Wimbledon forward was favourite for a moment.
Nearly 9 minutes gone on talksport 2 here at the Cherry Red Records Stadium. Bidwell again getting down the left-hand side, but the offside flag is up against the former Fulham and Brentford man, so it'll be a free kick to AFC Wimbledon in their right-back position. They've won just 2 games in 2023 in the league to go from mid-table to 5 points clear of the drop zone come the end of the season. That's why Johnny Jackson made such large recruitment drives in the summer to bring in the bodies. Coventry lost just one of their last 17 championship games to make 5th spot in the last few weeks of the season and get into those playoffs where they reached Wembley only to lose to Luton Town. Indeed, their away form was brilliant until they lost at Leicester on the opening day this season. Their last away defeat was in February at West Bromwich Albion. Very good on their travels, Coventry City. But the personnel's changed. At the back, Luke McNally was on loan. He's gone back to his parent club. Carl McFadden being rested tonight. So it's a new look back line for Coventry City. They have a throw just shy of the halfway line for Jake Bidwell to take. Throws it back, and Lewis Binks, one of those new arrivals, on loan from Bologna. Played in Major League Soccer for Montreal a couple of years ago. And he's part of that back three tonight for the Sky Blues. Left back for AFC Wimbledon. Lee Brown gets it up to Sasu, midway point of his own half, but he couldn't keep the ball in play out over on the far side in the east stand, so Coventry take the throw quickly. It's 0-0, 10 minutes gone on talksport 2. If you're just tuning into our Carabao Cup first round coverage, no goals anywhere else in the other ties. Hamer slides the ball through to the middle. Matt Godden gets his shot away. Good save, Sanef. Had to plunge to his left very quickly. Another exquisite slide rule pass from Gus Hamer right through the middle of the pitch. Godden turned but only found the keeper. Now Tilley coming away down the other end for AFC Wimbledon. Sends it across behind El Hamady, and Coventry can clear their lines again this time. Action at both ends. It stays 0-0 though.
Well, this Hamer, he makes the intervention in his own box there after play, and again, Dance, it's a dream, the pass for a centre forward. I can't tell you how good that is. I was just watching Mark Robbins in conversation with Hamer. He gave the ball away a few moments ago, trying to go a little bit more direct, missing out Sakamoto, the number 10, into right, and Robbins said, just pass, just play, just keep it a little bit, rather than going for the Hollywood pass every time. Gets the ball next time, slides an immaculate through ball.
Lovely dummy from Godden, that allows Coventry to get in. Sakamoto with a drive, it's blocked by the goalkeeper. Haji Wright was in there as well. Comes out to Bidwell, left hand corner of the box. Hamer urged to shoot by the Coventry fans behind that goal to the left, but instead he rolls it to the corner of the box, but in slides Lee Brown to keep it away from Van Ewijk, and then a foul on Harry Pell as the ball hits the back of the net, courtesy of Liam Kelly, but that won't count. The whistle had long since gone. but Sakamoto saw his shot at the near post blocked by the keeper. Stays 0-0 on talksport 2.
They're looking so dangerous. The slickness of Hamer, and then obviously having the dual strike force doesn't always go with two up front, Mark Robbins, but tonight they're looking to strike up a relationship, and already they've combined really well, Godden and Wright, and Sakamoto. Yeah, it's a different proposition altogether. I've not seen Coventry play with a 10 of this kind of ilk since Callum O'Hare's injury, so really exciting.
Al-Hamidi tries to get onto a flick on from Harry Pell as AFC Wimbledon try and attack down the other end of the field, but it comes to nothing. 12 minutes gone. Wimbledon 0, Coventry 0. And the draw for round 2 will be over on talksport at the conclusion of all tonight's ties, just during the course of the Sports Bar with Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy. Back tonight at 10. Ooh, and is that Matt Godden has just gone over the advertising hoardings at the far end of the field. He's hurdled to come back onto the pitch. Looked a bit dodgy at first. I thought he'd done himself a mischief, but he's all right. And it's a goal kick to AFC Wimbledon's Nick Zanev, who joined from the B Academy, the Brentford B Academy, a few years ago. The New Zealand has been number 1 the last 2 seasons, but now he's got Alex Bass threatening the goalkeeping jersey. And of course Alex Bass did play against Grimsby. Now free kick for AFC Wimbledon, foul down the left hand side in one of the few areas of the pitch that's still got a bit of sunlight on it. The sun setting quickly. This is level with the Coventry box stand park, and a chance for Wimbledon to get the big guys up from the back.
Yeah, and I've been retired a long time, Dan, but I still recall that you can't get involved in shenanigans with Harry Pell. He's the master. If there is dark arts allowed in this beautiful game of ours still, I assure you that Harry Pell can find an opportunity to do so, and he just clattered into Liam Kelly there. Probably a free kick. Gets to his feet. Liam Kelly buys it. It's a bit naughty from Harry Pell, and then leaves a little bit on the Wimbledon forward. Wimbledon get the decision. Keep an eye on him.
Well, he's at the back post, is Harry Pell. Tall, rangy midfielder. It's going to be Tilley to send in the free kick for Wimbledon. Al-Hamidi heads it down. It's just the wrong side of the post. Got it well at the near post from the left wing cross, Ali Al-Hamidi, but couldn't steer the header on target. Goal kick, 0-0 on talksport 2.
Yeah, tough chance because the ball's behind you in essence, and there's no pace on the ball. It's an outswinger, so you just try to direct it. You've got to get firm contact on it to take it into the far corner, and he can't quite do that. But another little confidence booster. You know, he's had a good start to the game, and now he's had an opportunity on the Coventry goal.
It's 0-0, but Wimbledon win the ball back. Al-Hamidi striding towards the area, had the ball taken off his toe by Sakamoto. Sakamoto then clattered into by the aforementioned Harry Pell, who strides away from the scene of the crime and wants nothing to do with referee Andrew Kitchen. He's not going to get a booking for that challenge, Harry Pell, but yeah, he's putting himself about. He returned to AFC Wimbledon in 2022. He was originally at the club in the early part of the last decade, former Charlton youth.
Yeah, that's 3 now, Dance.
Yeah,
3 that he's thrown himself into. It's great, I think, for the dressing room and for the home support, you know, when he's on it and he's winding up the opponent, but there's a fine line, and I think that's a bit of a job.
Oh, Hamer slides it through to Haji Wright in the area. Wright goes down, penalty kick. Haji Wright was about to let fly. Joe Lewis caught him. He was in on goal. A yellow card for the challenge by Lewis, and Haji Wright has earned Coventry City a penalty in the 17th minute. 0-0.
Another brilliant pass through the line, setting him away, and then so clever, Dan, to just wait for the contact, lean into Lewis in essence before he pulled the trigger. There's always going to be a foul. He can't make that challenge from that angle. Definite penalty.
So it's Matt Godden up against Nick Zanev, away to our left hand side in front of the Coventry fans. A chance for the championship side to take the lead. Godden, right footed, scores right in the bottom corner. Zanev went the right way to his left, but just couldn't get there. And Matty Godden celebrates his extension to his Coventry City contract by putting the Sky Blues ahead inside 20 minutes. Clinical from the penalty spot. It's AFC Wimbledon 0, Coventry 1. Good
penalty, and Coventry have been so bright in attack. They've made number of good opportunities in the opening 17 minutes. Matty Godden has been centre to that, and good for him to get up and running for the season, given that he missed a couple of opportunities on the weekend. Not going to make any mistake there.
Scored 8 goals in the Championship last season, Matty Godden, and he has broken the deadlock here on talksport 2. Ipswich are 1 up against Bristol Rovers. Jack Taylor, was that from 25 yards? It might well have been. It usually is with Jack Taylor. Rangers have got a second against Servette in the Champions League third round qualifier. Celio Dessa for Rangers, and Bristol City lead Oxford United. Harry Cornick has put the Robins in front at Ashton Gate. So it's 1-0 to Coventry, but AFC Wimbledon have made a very decent contribution to this opening 18 minutes that we have now on talksport 2. But the challenge by Lewis on right was a pretty clear-cut penalty. Now Lewis Binks under pressure from Tilly, turns away from the Wimbledon number 7, gets to halfway and fires a lovely ball out to the right-hand side. Van Ewijk makes Lee Brown slide in and put the ball behind for a Coventry corner away to our left-hand side. 1-0 to the Sky Blues.
Lovely switch. Probably Van Ewijk's touch should have been a little bit more assured, shouldn't have given Lee Brown the opportunity to come in and make the challenge. The threat from Coventry's come through central areas so far. Those lovely slid passes between full-back and centre-half. That's got Coventry players in, essentially running in on goal. It's been a real feature of the opening 20 minutes, and that 3v2 in the midfield probably problematic for the Dons.
Hamer drills in the corner just over the head of Hadji Wright, who was trying to get onto it at the near post. It's out of play for an AFC Wimbledon throw. That was the voice of former Luton, Swindon and St Mirren striker Sam Parkin. Alongside me, Ian Danter here at the Cherry Red Records Stadium. There are a few interested spectators in the flats opposite, sitting in their Juliet balconies, seeing what's going on. I believe one of our talksport producers owns or rents one of the flats opposite there. He's a Leicester fan, so I'm not sure he's necessarily that happy to be watching AFC Wimbledon. There's no flats around the King Power, so got no choice.
What an evening for it up there, Dan. So if I wasn't sat here with you, that'll be it, wouldn't it? Nice continental lager.
Well, you've almost got a pitch side view from Hampton and Richmond, haven't you?
I have,
in your part of the world,
right.
yeah. We were there a couple of years ago for an FA Cup tie against Oldham Athletic, weren't we?
Best burger in the non-league. I think me and Deck did that feature, did we not?
It was very decent indeed. I took your advice and you were dead right. Although Bracknell wasn't far behind last season in the FA Cup against Ipswich. Now here is Harry Pell getting fouled himself this time by Lewis Binks, and AFC Wimbledon have a free kick. If you're just tuning in, 20 minutes gone. Coventry had the lead here in southwest London. Matty Godden with a penalty kick after Hadji Wright was brought down inside the box by Joe Lewis. But AFC Wimbledon had their chances early in the piece, notably a pullback by Aaron Sassu from the left-hand side that was just steered wide by James Tilley, the number 7. Cardiff take the lead against Colchester. That's Championship against League 2 at the Cardiff City Stadium, and Reuben Colwell has put the Bluebirds in front. Now turning away from his man is James Ball. Sends the ball down the AFC Wimbledon left, looking for El Hamadi, who'd come out to that left-hand side. But it's back with the Coventry keeper Brad Collins, and he can fire it downfield, but it won't find a sky blue shirt. It's tidied up by Ryan Johnson. He hits it first time into the Coventry half, straight onto the head of Ryan Howley. And Hamer again looks early for Godden, over the top, brilliant ball. Godden brings the ball down inside the area, saved superbly by Saneb as Godden looked for the bottom corner. The first 2 touches to bring it out of the sky and bring it under control was sensational by Godden. But here come AFC Wimbledon, trying to equalise at the other end as James Tilley getting to the right-hand corner of the box, pulls it across, pushed away by Collins, and there's nobody on the follow-up at the edge of the area in an AFC Wimbledon shirt, and Hamer can bring it clear. Once again, Sam Parkin, action at both ends, 1-0 Coventry.
This is a brilliant game. Both teams attacking with real conviction, enterprise. It's a fantastic game. once more, Hamer just showcasing his range of passing. It's Paul Scholes-esque, isn't it?
It is, and he's just found Sakamoto, who indeed finds Bidwell out on this left wing, down to the byline, pulls the cross into the near post. Playing some handball by the Coventry fans against Ogundere, but it's not given. And a throw-in instead is Coventry's down by the corner flag. In the 8 o'clock kick-off, Leicester City are already ahead at Burton Albion. Kelechi Iheanacho, who likes scoring cup goals, whether it's FA or League Cup. He's broken the deadlock at the Pirelli. Remember, on talksport right now, Adrian Durham and the team are taking you around the grounds with Alvin Martin and Chris Owellamo, part of our team this evening. All the goals as they go in from all tonight's football. But here on talksport 2, our concentration is firmly on events here at the Cherry Red Records Stadium. Midway through the first half, it's AFC Wimbledon 0, Coventry City 1. Matt Godden's penalty in the 17th minute. Ball played up to halfway, but it just drifts beyond a very tall Harry Pell and Latibogier, who I saw come through at Swansea City, having graduated from the Manchester City Academy. He's the senior centre-half out there tonight, Sam.
Yeah, I always liked him, actually. Played in a number of different roles for Swansea, but always really consistent.
Just sent the ball forward to Hamer, but couldn't control it that time. In the Wimbledon right-back position. Now sent forward, looking for the run of Al-Hamadi. He's pulled away to this near side, the Wimbledon right. Binks has gone with him. Al-Hamadi tries to keep it in place. Won a throw. Won the throw down that near side. Went out of Latibogier. So the throw-in is Wimbledon's. Pretty much level with the Coventry penalty area. Down this near side, the Wimbledon right, as they attack the rest and waist stand. Over to our right-hand side. Ogundere wins another throw as it was sent into him, put out by Bidwell. And also James Ball is lurking in case he wants a different throw-in option. Ogundere has it again, same place, level with the Coventry penalty area, right-hand side. 1-0 to the Sky Blues on talksport 2 in the League Cup. Ogundere needs a target, and Ball is making that run down the right-hand side, but across comes Binks and volleys it out of play. So AFC Wimbledon have another throw. This one's closer to the corner flag though, on this near side, the right. Not much movement though for Ogundere when he's got the ball in his hand, Sam Parkin.
No, a little bit statuesque. Obviously just trying to build it on the right hand side. They've got good power, good height, good physicality. AFC Wimbledon, especially on that far post as we look, so let's try and get the ball in.
Now Kelly goes down under pressure from Tilly, but no foul, says the assistant. Looked like a foul to us, but it's an AFC Wimbledon throw. Kept in play on this near side by Ogundere. Tilly and Ball also combined. Looking for Harry Pell, trying to back into his defender, right hand side of the area. Digs that across, it's too high for Al-Hamadi and for Sassu, but then Al-Hamadi again works incredibly hard to try and win the ball back, and then he's helped out by Jake Reeves, who schemes away on the halfway line and sends it out to the left-hand side. Plays a lovely 1-2 with Al-Hamadi. Now Sassu getting away down the left-hand side of the box for Wimbledon. Pulls the ball across, out behind for a corner kick to AFC Wimbledon, away to our right-hand side. 1-0 Coventry.
Yeah, you're right to highlight that endeavour of Al-Hamadi once more. Rushing back and helping out. Nice clean feet as well, linking the play with Reeves, and gives the opportunity to get Sassu 1-on-1 in the wide position. Coventry just had the box well stopped on that occasion to be able to thwart the advances of AFC Wimbledon down the left.
So it's Jake Reeves going over to take the corner. Just rejoined after a couple of years at Stevenage. Jake Reeves, former Tottenham youth player. It's going to be a right-footed in-swinger over on the far side of the field from us for Jake Reeves for AFC Wimbledon. Clips it into the near post, headed out strongly by Matt Godden, the goal scorer for Coventry tonight. They lead by 1-0. Now it's clipped in field by Reeves to Sassu. Lovely turn, left-hand side of the box, gets to the byline, pulls it across, and again there's a Coventry player there. This time it's Latibogier to put it out of play for a throw, but Sassu, this young 19-year-old academy graduate, looking lively. Another cross into the box, drops to the far post. Al-Hamadi just couldn't get it under full control. He's still got it at his feet though. Right-hand corner of the penalty area. Lays it off for Tilly. Tilly looking to take on Bidwell. Once but twice, and then he's brought down by Bidwell, was he? And he's actually handled the ball. He looked imploringly at the assistant. didn't get the decision, and now he's going to be booked because he's thrown the ball away, James Tilley, and that's indicative of the new directives that referees have been given, Sam Parkin. Throwing the ball away, kicking the ball away. Gamesmanship, you get booked for it.
It's a yellow card. I've got sympathy for him because it is a foul. What does for him is he goes down a bit theatrically. He does, Jake Bidwell. Nice little bit of feet onto his right foot on the outside. Definite free kick, in my opinion, but went down a bit too theatrically, and that's probably why the referee called it for a dive. Wrongly so, I reckon. But yeah, yellow card for dissent.
27 minutes has absolutely flown by here at the Cherry Red Records Stadium. AFC Wimbledon 0, Coventry City 1 on talksport 2. Hamer again, he's got eyes in the back of his head. He's looking for Van Evik down the right hand side. He can't keep it in play.
He's ruined it now, Dance, because I was about to say I want someone to clip up the first 25 minutes of this game, Gus Hamer, honestly, and stick it on YouTube. He's played 5 or 6 incredible passes. I don't know what he'd be like to manage, because sometimes he goes wandering. A few minutes ago he was almost with us, Dance, on the left hand side. He's playing holding midfield, so sometimes I think you've just got to let someone go free. I don't imagine he's too keen on getting in the gym probably, or doing the extra sprints, but just the free spirit. Beautiful footballer. It's been so good.
Statsu tries to fire the ball down the left hand side of the area for Pell. Brilliant foot in by Ryan Howley on his first Coventry start to divert it out for a throw down by the corner flag. I can tell you that Shrewsbury are in front at Leeds United. Taylor Perry has put the Shrews in front at Ellen Road, and Wimbledon have a throw down the left hand side about 10 yards from the corner flag. It's guided down for Lee Brown to try and send a cross into the box. Harry Pell at the far post heads it back across the face of goal. Might drop for Tilley again, or he just couldn't control it. It just bounced off his head, and 2 Coventry players just hacked it clear. It is a throw against Wimbledon on this near side. Coventry lead by 1-0.
They're really important that they've responded in this manner, Dance. Actually came really back into the game now. Could have lost a little bit of confidence having conceded quite early.
There's Ryan Johnson just lofting a ball down the right hand side for Harry Pell to chase, and he goes down slightly theatrically, doesn't get the decision. Sort of went down like a falling oak tree, didn't he? And didn't get the foul from the referee, Mr. Kitchen. And instead Sasu wins the ball back and actually hits the ball against Van Evik to give Wimbledon the throw on halfway. Was that a foul for you, Sam Parkin?
No, it's more of a dive than what we saw from Tilley a few minutes ago, isn't it?
Yeah.
So he's fortunate to escape there. It's great him and Kelly. Keep an eye on it, Dance, Pell and Kelly. Kelly is on him. He's diving, he's kicking people.
Is Hadji Wright having a go for goal? That's out the stadium. I think that's landed in Jake Watson's luxury penthouse flat, one of our talksport producers who lives round here. Half an hour gone. 1-0 to Coventry City, but 1 ball lost.
Yeah. Not the best effort. Should have just taken it under his spell, waited for options. He's been bright, like the movement. You know, some of Gus Hamer's passing has been immense, but also the movement of the front 2, brilliant. Godden, not quick by any stretch of the imagination, but the little movements towards the ball and then spinning. And I think sometimes Hamer's got his head down. He knows the type of movement and the type of supply that Matty Godden plays on. Here we go again, look. Yeah. Here we go.
Harry Pell and Liam Kelly clashing inside the Coventry City half of the field, but the Sky Blues come away with the ball. Hamer again, looking to drill the ball out along the deck to Sakamoto. First time ball slid down the left hand side of the box for Bidwell. Bidwell spots Kelly in space, approaching the left hand corner of the area. He lays it off to Hamer in the centre of the half. Hamer's going to go for goal, and it's pushed out by Sanev, and Lee Brown will get to the ball first and clear the danger for AFC Wimbledon. Hamer got a bit tired of trying to assist people, thought he'd go for goal himself. Now El Hamady charging away at the other end. He's got 3 Coventry players round him, finally goes down at the edge of the area and gets nothing from the referee and thumps the turf in frustration as he doesn't get the decision. 1-0 Coventry.
That's a shame. It's such a graceful mover, isn't he, when he gets up to full speed. Looked like he was in there. I think Howley just about did enough right there. Well, certainly did enough. He just lent into the AFC Wimbledon forward. I think that was good defending.
Hamer again on the halfway line for Coventry City. Plays a shorter pass this time to Kelly. And he plays it further out to this near side of the left, and Jake Bidwell. Bidwell up against Ogundeere. He's got support from Sakamoto. Now Godden's come short. Godden has got the only goal of the game from the penalty spot, but Harry Pell wins it back, slams it downfield looking for El Hamadi. Good challenge from Lati Bogier to keep it away from El Hamadi, but the long ball downfield, straight intended for Haji Wright, was picked off by AFC Wimbledon. Bristol City 1, Oxford United 1. Billy Bodin wants of Bristol Rovers. Oh, he's had some injury problems over the last couple of years, Billy Bodin, but he's equalised for Oxford at Ashton Gate. Don't forget the TalkSport breakfast show back in the morning when you wake up. It's Alan Brazil and Gabriel von Lahore manacled together once again, and their guests will include Campbell Hatton, son of Ricky Hatton, football writer Jamie Jackson, ahead of the Manchester Club's weekend. That's from 6 o'clock in the morning. And if you want something different, Chris Evans on Virgin Radio from 6:30. You can listen to Virgin Radio on DAB or download the app. Back here at the Cherry Red Records Stadium, 12 minutes to half-time. Coventry lead by a goal to nil, and they've just won a free kick. Sam Parkin alongside me. Tatsuhiro Sakamoto brought down about 25 yards out.
Yeah, I'd imagine Hamer will fancy this one. Sakamoto's not really been heavily involved last 10-15, but what he has done when they have been able to get the ball into him, he looks like a player. Fleet of foot, really nice balance, a bit David Silva about him, getting between the lines, all left foot, looks like a really clever footballer.
No, I like that description of Sakamoto. Now here's Gus Hamer standing to the left of the ball. He's just going to whip his right foot round it. It's just to the left of centre, 25 yards out. There's a 4-man Wimbledon wall stationed just inside the 18-yard box. Hamer, right-footed, goes for the far corner, and only just wide, only just the wrong side of the post for Gus Hamer, and he can't believe that he didn't wrap his foot round it enough. He's disgusted with himself that he didn't get it on target. Goal kick Wimbledon, Coventry lead 1-0.
It's close, wasn't it? I think the goalkeeper was worried. Yeah, it's been a really good half from him. We'll look to play that pass, I think, or Coventry to mix up the game, get it into Sakamoto a little bit more. On the flip side, Harry Pell spending a lot of time getting involved in combat with Liam Kelly. I can be a nuisance on Hamer if I'm Harry Pell. If you've got to drop in on one of the deep-lying Coventry midfielders, Hamer's running this game.
Yeah.
And that would be good fun as well, from our perspective, because I imagine Hamer maybe could switch. Liam Kelly's just about kept it in check so far, but Hamer against Harry Pell.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean in terms of combustible personality, shall we say. It's 1-0 to Coventry City. Sam Parkin, former EFL striker, alongside with Ian Danto. I should mention that Courtney Sweetman-Kirk's going to be on TalkSport Breakfast tomorrow as well. She's out in Australia, our England women's correspondent. England take on Colombia live on TalkSport 2 Saturday morning from 11 a.m. And then as soon as that game's done, you can join me and David Nugent for the second half of Coventry. We'll be back with Coventry on TalkSport 2 at the weekend. They're at home to Middlesbrough for their first home game of the season. And the first half will be on the TalkSport app. It's got so much football on. You've got on TalkSport game day, Arsenal against Nottingham Forest. That's the lunchtime kickoff on TalkSport. TalkSport 2 has the Lionesses and the Championship. We do spoil you, being the home of live football. Loads of good stuff to come. And there's some rugby as well. We've got the Summer Series on Saturday tea time. England against Wales at 5:30 with Andrew McKenna in the team. Now here's Sanef, the Wimbledon goalkeeper, firing the ball down to Harry Pell, who chests it down really well, feeds it out left to Lee Brown. Brown puts a cross in from deep. It's too deep actually for everybody in the dark blue shirts, and it drifts out of play on the near side to us for a Coventry throw, only a couple of yards away from their own dead ball line. 1-0 to Coventry City against this AFC Wimbledon side who got that creditable point at Grimsby. They've got Wrexham here on Saturday, so the old Hollywood Jamboree turning up at the Cherry Red Records. I don't know how many other Hollywood stars will turn up, because they had Hugh Jackman there at Wrexham on Saturday as the guest of Ryan Reynolds. Not too shabby.
Could be the biggest social in their calendar, couldn't it? Eh?
Yeah, absolutely.
Cabin to the West End.
You're giving them ideas. Cardiff 2, Colchester 0. Kiona Tete has got the second for Cardiff. Remember him scoring a brilliant goal against Coventry for Northampton in the League Cup a couple of seasons ago, Keon Atete. And Bristol City have retaken the lead against Oxford United. Jason Knight has got the second for the Robins. There's an AFC Wimbledon player down inside the Coventry half of the field. I can't quite see who it is, but it means that all the other players have come to this near touchline to take on water and just chat with their coaches.
Just on that Wrexham game, Phil Parkinson had Johnny Jackson at 2 clubs, so played a big part in his playing career. So that'll be a nice one for them being in opposite dugouts.
After Wrexham, they've got Colchester United and Sutton United away, and then a home match against Forest Green and Newport away to get their season started. AFC Wimbledon. Coventry, I mentioned, we've got their game at home to Middlesbrough on the talksport app and on talksport 2 on Saturday lunchtime. And then they're away at Swansea. Joel Latibergier will enjoy that return. Home to Sunderland, home to Watford, and away at Hull to get their season underway. It was Harry Pell that actually went down, and he's just being led to this near touchline. Now he's got to wait for 30 seconds once the game restarts before he can re-enter the field of play. It's another one of these directives, Sam Parkin, to try and eliminate time wasting or spurious injuries to try and kill time. Are you a fan of that idea?
No, but I think it's so difficult, Dance, for the officials. There's obviously scenarios where players are going down when they're clearly not injured, and it's probably to heed against that. But this is a player who's genuinely injured, got a problem here. Harry Pell had to come off and get a little bit of treatment. So if the opposition to score here, managers, supporters are going to be up in arms, aren't they? So it's going to create a lot of debate, that's for sure.
He's got to wait on this near touchline as it's temporarily 11 against 10. Coventry in possession with Gus Hamer on the halfway line. Kelly clips it over the top looking for Haji Wright. He goes down again, but this time he went down a bit later after the initial challenge from Joe Lewis. I think he knew. He sort of looked round as he went to ground to see what the referee was doing, and the referee was shaking his head saying no penalty. Goal kick. We've got just over 5 minutes of normal time left in this first half. It's 1-0 to Coventry City against League 2 opposition. Only now will Harry Pell be getting close to being allowed back onto the field. He's now finally back out there. The 30 seconds has expired.
Feels a bit long to me, that.
Yeah, it happened last night at Gillingham. I forget the player who was waiting, but it was, you know,
life stands still a bit, doesn't it?
Yeah, it certainly does. 1-0 to Coventry City. They're in possession with Liam Kelly. Out on the far right-hand side, Ryan Howley strikes it infield for Latibergier. Howley, 19 years of age, born in Nuneaton. He's been at Coventry since he was 6 years of age. Now, Bidwell for Coventry. Lovely ball from the left-hand side into the area. Good defending by Ryan Johnston, though. Heads it almost back out to where Bidwell was stationed, and he forces Ogundiri to put the ball out of play for a Coventry throw deep in Wimbledon territory, down the Coventry left. 1-0. Thrown in by Bidwell for Binks. Back towards the halfway line. Latibergier will pick it up and find Ryan Howley, who can stride into the Wimbledon half. Look for a diagonal ball for Hamer. Chest it down, left-hand side of the area. Faced up by a couple of defenders. Rolls it back to Kelly. He's going to have a go from 30 yards, always rising and always going over the bar. And another goal kick to AFC Wimbledon. Stays 1-0 to Coventry on talksport 2.
But they've got that overload on this left-hand side a few times, because Hamer just comes and stands out here. Liam Kelly must pull his hair out. Like, well, you're supposed to be playing central midfield with me. I want someone to bounce the ball off. You're on the left wing. But again, they find him. Lovely ball from Howley, right to left, and that's where they get the opportunity from. I'm not sure if it's always going to be so successful, especially when you play against the better teams in the Championship, if he is playing as a deep line midfielder. But tonight, it's marvellous to watch.
I don't know whether Johnny Jackson simply wasn't expecting Gus Hamer to be on the team sheet tonight, and he hadn't necessarily accounted for what he might do from the off. But he's normally got a good 5-10 yards of space around him. As Haji Wright wins a free kick down by the corner flag on the far side of the field, he was pushed over. A free kick to Coventry City in front of their fans at that Cherry Red Records end. Cardiff are in front against Colchester, but they've been pulled back. It's 2-1 now. John Akinde gets a goal back for Colchester United at the Cardiff City Stadium.
Yeah, they haven't made a plan for him in this instance, have they? AFC Wimbledon. I think he's that pivotal to the way this game is played out. Maybe they'll have to look at that and just get someone on his toes, not to do a man-to-man, but get someone in that 5-yard vicinity.
Sakamoto with a free kick that's almost a corner on the right-hand side. Fires it into the near post, headed across goal by Godden and turned over his own crossbar by a AFC Wimbledon defender. It is a corner to Coventry. That was fiercely struck into the near post by Sakamoto and caused lots of problems.
I'm going to credit Lee Brown there. I think he actually just allows that to bounce and then just kind of helps it up into the sky. If he goes to meet that, possibly deflects in off him and flies into the back of the AFC Wimbledon net. So really good defending from the experienced fullback.
But it is a corner that Gus Hamer's preparing to take from this near side. A right-footed in swinger into the near post. Good header clear down that near side by El Hamady, back defending, but now Sakamoto, can he keep it in play on this near touchline? Digs out across, comes to the far post, driven back in by Howley, safe. Bidwell on the follow-up, blocked again. Bidwell 6 yards out, tries to get the shot away and he's blocked behind for another corner. Is it? No, it's a throw in the end to Coventry City. Wimbledon desperately trying to prevent a second goal for the visitors. Here's Hamer again as the throw-in's taken quickly. Kelly, left-hand corner of the box, winding up for a shot. Look at that lazy effort really with his right foot. Didn't give it the beans like I was expecting him to, and it's gone out for a goal kick. But Wimbledon really are hanging on here at 1-0 down.
Yeah, big pressure. I think there was a really important header from Harry Pell in amongst that. It looked like Haji Wright was going to get his first goal for Coventry, taken off his head. Then Howley did well to keep the move alive on the far side. Jake Bidwell, I'm surprised, didn't just stump that. He tried to steer it, didn't he? Side foot back towards the far corner, deflected away by a Wimbledon defender.
Satsu for Wimbledon, driving in towards the edge of the box. Latibogier gets in a half challenge. It's won by AFC Wimbledon. Touched in field by Ball. Reeves gives it back to Ball. Midway point of the Coventry half. Reeves looks for Ball again with a clip pass. It doesn't quite come off, but they've won it back, Wimbledon. Now it's James Ball again up against Binks, and he's won a throw 10 yards from the corner flag into the last minute of normal time in this first half on talksport 2. Servette get a goal back at Rangers. It's 2-1. A penalty from Bedia Christ makes it 2-1 to the Scottish side at Ibrox. AFC Wimbledon trading by a goal to nil on their own ground, approaching half-time. Here's Joe Lewis just teasing the ball down the right-hand side, looking for James Ball, and it's volleyed out of play by Jake Bidwell. So another throw. Johnny Jackson gets the ball back from a fan and bowls it down the touchline so that Ogundere can get it back in play sooner rather than later. Pell making a run down the right-hand side of the box, receives the throw on his chest with his back to the penalty area, down to the byline, wins a corner, does he? Oh, it's been given us a goal kick by the assistant as we go into 4 minutes of minimum stoppage time at the end of this first half. Harry Pell thought he won a corner, but the assistant says otherwise. 1-0 Coventry.
Quite surprised it's only 4, right? There's been a couple of dives, there's been a few injuries, isn't there? So I was anticipating that being a little larger. We'll take it though, won't we?
Well, that's, yeah. I'm not sure whether all the furore over the weekend's football has made a slight change to the referee's modus operandi. We'll see. 4 minutes to the end of this half anyway, which we're into now on talksport 2. Coventry looking to preserve that 1-goal lead, maybe add to it by the break. Long ball downfield by Sakamoto, just over the head of Godden, and Bidwell does well to keep it in play down on this near touchline. Haji Wright elects to go back to the halfway line, and Binks just plays a short pass to Sakamoto. Kelly, Sakamoto wants it back with his back to goal at the edge of the area, jinks into the box but runs into traffic and he can't get away from Lewis or from Ogundere in the end, so it's bowled out by Sanev to Jake Reeves, who's got Hamer on him straight away. Colchester have equalised for a second time at Cardiff. It's 2-2. Joseph Taylor makes it 2-2. Now El Hamady will chase after the ball. Can he keep it in play on this right-hand side? He will. Down by the corner flag for AFC Wimbledon. Couple of step overs, gets inside the area, tries to wrap his left foot round it, cross to the far post, and it's headed just over the bar for a goal kick to Coventry City. I think it was James Tilley at the far post who couldn't quite apply the finish. No, it was Lee Brown in actual fact who tried to get the finish, but just got underneath the header Sam Parkin.
Yeah, it was Harry Pell, wasn't it, with the searching ball for El Hamadi. Probably wanted that to take in on goal himself, El Hamadi. Ended up going quite wide on the right hand side. It was definitely a shot when he came infield on his left foot. Well done Lee Brown, actually, almost getting inside the far post, or just outside, to try and steer his header goalwards. Probably the best chance they've conjured since that early Tilly opportunity.
But it is 1-0 to Coventry. Sassu, he's taken out on the halfway line by Van Ewijk, and that's a yellow card for Milan Van Ewijk on his debut, and that's a very easy decision for the referee to make. 1-0 to Coventry.
Yeah, good play again from Sassu. He's been really exciting down the left-hand side. Invariably, he's beaten his man. He's been able to get into the box on quite a few occasions. Just not had that end product to match the rest of his game, but that was excellent.
I beg your pardon, it was Howley that got the yellow card, not Van Ewijk. Here's Sassu for AFC Wimbledon. We played nearly 3 minutes of the minimum 4 that have been added on. Lee Brown sends the ball into the Coventry box. It's half cleared. Wimbledon won't get there first. Haji Wright did get there first, and he was just caught by Ryan Johnson. He just got to the ball marginally in front of his opponent and has stayed down Haji Wright. Coventry have a free kick and they lead by a goal to 0 on talksport 2.
Yeah, a few of the AFC Wimbledon fans away to our right complaining about that. That's a foul. It's just sharper Haji Wright across the ground. Johnson just...
he wasn't favourite, was he?
No, he wasn't at all. That was really bright forward play. Getting across nice and sharp, and definite free kick.
To be taken by Lewis Binks. We'll work it back to Latibogia. Binks has it again. Edging towards half-time here on talksport 2, your home of the EFL, home of the Carabao Cup. Oh, so much live football. Bidwell looking for Haji Wright, who gets to the byline, left-hand side, tries an early cross, but it was dealt with well by Joe Lewis. He in turn fires it downfield, but the referee blows the whistle for half-time. We're back underway on talksport 2. AFC Wimbledon attacking the cherry red records end to our left, which is where the Cov fans are. AFC Wimbledon wearing their dark blue strip with a yellow stripe across the chest. Coventry City are in their all sky blue. They're attacking the western waiststand to our right hand side. Lewis has been in touch, Sam, via our Twitter feed at talksport2, listening to our commentaries. He said, we want to keep hold of Hamer. Can you stop saying how good he is, please? I don't think Sam can do that. I think Sam would feel he was cheating himself if he did that.
It's a bit of, when I think back to when I was playing, what I want from a centre midfielder, and he just exemplifies that. I want a midfielder to play forward.
Yeah.
I want him to, if I want the ball to feet, I don't want him to have to look at me. I want him to know and just whip it into my feet, and he never plays sideways, and yeah, he'll give the ball away, and since the opening 20 minutes when he was a dream, he has given a few away, but that's because he's always trying to force the game. He's always trying to set people free on goal, and that's what I love about him, always looking to play forward. It's easy to go sideways and backwards.
Keep in touch, folks. We'd love to hear from you whilst we're doing our commentaries at talksport2 on Twitter. X rather, it's not Twitter anymore, is it? Keep forgetting it's changed. X at talksport2. I'll run you through the lineups in a minute. Cross comes into the box. It's a poor punch by Brad Collins for Coventry, but Hamer tidies up, and it's brought away through midfield by Milan Van Ewijk, and Tatsuhiro Sakamoto, who had a pretty decent first half, the Japanese midfielder, tucks the ball infield to Liam Kelly. He plays a diagonal ball out to Gus Hamer, brings it down nonchalantly with the outside of his right boot. Van Ewijk in support, level with the AFC Wimbledon penalty area to our right, tries to go on the outside of Lee Brown, gets a good cross in, headed out by Joe Lewis. It was a lovely cross from Van Ewijk, but nobody in the sky blue shirt on the end of it. Meantime, Wimbledon come forward. Harry Pell brings the ball down out of the sky. That's good defending though by Ryan Howley to keep the ball away from him, and the ball's brought away by Liam Kelly, but out of play. So I'll quickly run through the lineups for Wimbledon. No changes incidentally at half-time. Sanif in goal, Ogundiri, Lewis, Johnson and Brown at the back, Tilly, Reeves, Ball and Sasser in midfield, Al Hamadi and Pell up top. For Coventry, Collins in goal, Howley, Latibogier and Binks in a back three. Van Evick, Kelly, Hamer and Bidwell in midfield. Sakamoto supporting Godden and Wright in attack. And here is Matt Godden, who scored the only goal of the game from the penalty spot. Sees the ball taken off his toe. Clear downfield by Lee Brown, asking El Hamady to give chase. Out comes Collins, just outside his area, and he's forced to put the ball out of play for a Wimbledon throw as Bristol City go 3-1 up on Oxford United early in the second half. Another for Jason Knight, and it's 2-0 to Leicester at half-time now at the Pirelli. Wilfred and Ndidi got a second for Leicester. 2-0 they lead against Dino Mamria's side. So Lee Brown for AFC Wimbledon, right in front of our commentary position in the West Stand here at the Cherry Red Record Stadium. Hamer just loses out to the industry of Sasu, and then a ball clipped downfield by Jake Reeves, asking Pell to give chase. But that's good defending once again by Latibogier. It's a good half a foot shorter. Godden climbs all over Jake Reeves to try and win a header inside his own half, and they both collide again. Godden goes to ground, and still no whistle from referee Andrew Kitchen. And here's Sakamoto picking the ball up just over halfway for Coventry. Slides the ball to the left-hand side of the area. Bidwell tries to drive it goals, but out came the goalkeeper Sanev and made an important block that went behind for a Coventry corner to our right. It's 1-0 to Coventry, 4 minutes gone in the second half.
Again, straight through the heart of the AFC Wimbledon defence, which is unusual. That's how Coventry have made the majority of their chances. Kelly so assured in possession, good pass into Sakamoto, and the weight of his pass, the angle, perfect for Bidwell. Sanev actually does really well to stay up, I think, Dan. It's easy to come sliding out on the deck, and Bidwell would have lifted it over him.
Yeah, made himself big. Hamer will have the corner where the right group stand meets the rest and waist stand, into the near post. It's flicked on by a Wimbledon head at the near post. It was Ogundeary that got the flick on, and it just drifts out of play on the far side. A few Coventry players warming up, including Ellis Sims, their recent arrival from Everton. So they've got options now in the absence of Gyökeres. Now he's gone to play for Sporting. Hamer takes the throw, or rather Van Evick takes the throw right hand side, wins another throw down by the corner flag now for Coventry, attacking down their right hand side. Van Evick, who joined from Heerenveen in the summer, Dutch under-21 right wing back, perfect for Mark Robins' system in that position. Now Hamer sets the ball up to the edge of the area looking for Godden, but he couldn't control it, Matt Godden, the way he would have wanted, and Wimbledon just hacked it clear. It's gone out of play for a Coventry throw on the far side of the field on the left. We played 5 minutes of the second half. If you're just tuning into Carabao Cup Live here on talksport 2, Coventry had the lead by 1-0. That goal scored in the 17th minute by Matty Godden. Bidwell trying to get the cross in from the left hand side. It was blocked, but he's retrieved it down by the corner flag. Now it's driven goalwards and just wide by Gus Hamer. Goodness me, he gave that a fearful thump from the left hand corner of the box, and you probably heard it smacking into the advertising hoardings just to the right of Nick Sanev's right hand post. Goal kick to Wimbledon, 1-0 Coventry. Sam Parkin.
I think just going for the surprise element there, but I'm sure Wimbledon were expecting maybe the spectacular attempt from Gus Hamer coming and whistling in from the left hand side. Didn't miss by much.
Howley rolls the ball back to the Coventry keeper Brad Collins. First time right footed clearance from him. Ball bounces in the centre circle, and Ball and Reeves win it back between them for AFC Wimbledon. Now Lee Brown looking for Sasu over halfway, but it was easily intercepted by Ryan Howley. Lovely ball by Van Ewick down the right hand side for Sakamoto. Early cross into the box. It's headed out by Joe Lewis. There's nobody in a sky blue shirt that close to the cross. Now Sasu, this tall, rangy midfielder, gets away for AFC Wimbledon. Does he want to throw? Yes, he has. Just over the halfway line. Finds Harry Pell with it. Pell goes down under pressure from Hamer, and Hamer just gave a little glance at Pell after he nudged him to the ground. That one's brewing. 1-0 to Coventry City, 7 minutes gone in the second half. Leeds have equalised at home to Shrewsbury. 1-1 at Ellen Road. Joe Gelhardt with the equaliser for the West Yorkshire club. Ball volleyed downfield, asking El Hamady to give chase for Wimbledon. Poor touch from Latibogier, so it's a throw to AFC Wimbledon. down this near side of the left as they're attacking the end where the Coventry supporters are. 7 minutes gone in the second period. Bristol City are now 4-1 up on Oxford. Naki Wells with the fourth for Bristol City, who many people are tipping for a better season at championship level under Nigel Pearson. Even if they do end up selling Alex Scott, their incredibly talented young midfielder, before the window shuts. Throw in for Wimbledon, finds El Hamidi down by the corner flag on this near side. Wants another throw. He's been awarded it by the referee. Very close to the corner flag down this near side, the AFC Wimbledon left. Lee Brown is set to take it, 10 yards from the corner flag. He's bidding El Hamidi to go away from him. Sassu comes short for the throw, and now it's picked up by James Ball. Lee Brown gives it back to Ball. Now Brown down towards the byline left hand side, but the flag is up for offside during that build up, and Coventry get a free kick instead in their right back position.
Taking a while to take it, wasn't he, Lee Brown, waiting for a little bit of movement, ushering the centre forward and also Sassu into the box. He wanted to just get his set back so he could deliver. They worked it lovely between him and Ball, but just went a fraction a yard too early, flagged offside. Just scraps really for the Wimbledon two front men to go on at the moment. They need to just work out or find a way to be a little bit more creative, to work the ball into their feet rather than just be overly direct on all occasions.
Is Ryan Howley on halfway, or rather on the edge of his own penalty area for Coventry City. Lati Bodier rolls the ball into the feet of Liam Kelly. On the half turn, he's able to look up, see what's ahead of him, ends up clipping the ball out to Bidwell just over the halfway line for Coventry. Now Kelly again, lofted ball downfield, taken on the chest by Wright. Oh, he's volleyed it wastefully over. It's hit the wall of one of those flats behind the rest and waist stand. Hadji Wright, the running to the box and the chest control was brilliant, but the volley wildly over the bar. Wimbledon goal kick, Coventry lead 1-0.
Yeah, it was Hamer in the first half. That's an equally good pass from Liam Kelly. It takes out Johnson. I think he can head that. Kasanev's coming out. He's coming out to potentially take the ball in the air. He's off his line probably 7 or 8 yards. I think that Wright could have just helped that over the goalkeeper one touch. As you said, Dan, there's nothing wrong with the control. Just the effort once again going sailing over the crossbar, but maybe the first time finish was on.
Hello to Chris Quiddy, listening to our coverage on talksport 2 on X. He says, great commentary, lads, give our fans a mention. They have been very loud all night. They very nearly had something to cheer there as Gus Hamer again tried a snapshot from the edge of the area that only just went the wrong side of the post, and a change being made, and that is Gus Hamer's last involvement in the game. I don't know how significant that is, as we've not even reached an hour. 10 gone in the second half, and he's coming off, and Ben Sheep is coming on to replace him. What do you make of that, Sam Parkin?
Well, I'm surprised that last shot didn't find the corner of the net, because that's a great chance for him. Missed by a couple of yards on the near post. Well, if he's staying at Coventry City, they need him Saturday at lunchtime against Middlesbrough, so there's no point in taking a risk with him whatsoever. So I wouldn't read too much into that tonight where we sit. But I've enjoyed that.
Me too.
Great hour.
More of that on Saturday, please, Gustavo. And yes, Chris, the Coventry fans have been making lots of noise, and as I mentioned earlier in commentary, 19,000 season tickets have been sold. I'm expecting a riotous old noise at the Coventry Building Society Arena against Middlesbrough. That, of course, was one of my favourite games of the season, those two playoff semi-final legs between Coventry and Middlesbrough. Even though it was 0-0 in the first leg at Coventry, it was thrilling stuff. I think I've still got the bruise on my ribs from where Chris Iwelumo kept punching me. He was enjoying the game that much. Lee Hart's listening whilst delivering a tanker full of moonshine to the Temperance Distilling Company. Glad it's not the Leeds game, says Lee. I might need some of it. Well, you are level now, Lee, against Shrewsbury. Joe Gelhart's got you 1-1. It's 1-0 here to Coventry with 12 minutes gone in the second half on talksport 2. That Matt Godden penalty still separating the sides. Coventry have a goal kick away to our left, so with Ben Sheaf on for Gus Hamer, I guess Coventry's approach to build-up play, Sam Parkin, just alters slightly.
Yeah, possibly. He's probably a bit safer with his passing, Ben Sheaf. I know that he's highly regarded at Coventry City, certainly by the fans, and good when he's available last season, so it doesn't change too much about the approach. Probably have a little bit more solidity in the centre of the pitch in that game. It does go walkabouts at times.
Longer it stays 1-0. AFC Wimbledon will be tempted to throw more men forward to try and force an equaliser and therefore straight to a penalty shootout, because there's no extra time in these early rounds. If we're all square at 90 minutes, we go straight to spot kicks. 1-0 to Coventry. 58 minutes gone, so that jeopardy is there. Coventry to try and negotiate their way out of, try and get a second goal. But here's James Ball for AFC Wimbledon, finding Sasu, who's been very busy on the left-hand side for the hosts, but this time he loses out. Godden turns the ball round the corner, looking for the run of right. Keeper Sanif had come out of his area, and he hadn't been spotted by Joe Lewis, who, thankfully for the keeper, just sent the ball out of play for a Coventry throw. 1-0 to the Sky Blues.
Yeah, they've got that option though, haven't they? Just turning Wimbledon early, because Wright is a very willing runner. Matty Godden doesn't even look to play back. He just knows he can turn that down the side, and got someone with similar skill set. I've said it a few times this evening, to that of Gyökeres. So it's a treat for them to have that mobility top end, and he'll get better.
Anyway, just can't take the ball with him. It's James Ball trying to prevent a corner kick, and he can't do so. He's been really well pressurised down that right hand side by Sakamoto, so the Japanese player will have the corner kick, and Leeds have turned it around at home to Shrewsbury in the Carabao Cup. So our listener delivering the moonshine is going to be very happy. Pascal Strike makes it 2-1 at Ellen Road. Remember, Adrian's taking you around the grounds on talksport. If you've got the app downloaded, it's easy to swipe between the two stations. Corner kick for Sakamoto of Coventry to swing into the near post. It's cleared by Wimbledon, and away comes Ali El-Hamadi. Over the halfway line, he's sliding in his Van Edijk, and it's a throw given to AFC Wimbledon, and they want to take it quickly, but the ball just bounces away from Jake Reeves, and he's frustrated by that.
Well, it's a Coventry throw as well. I think it deflected off El-Hamadi. Robbins is not happy down there. Mark Robbins just thinking probably time for AFC Wimbledon to roll the dice as well. Dancy spoke about that strength they've got. They've got good attacking options on the bench tonight, and you just can't take any risks. In a big game at the weekend, El-Hamadi in particular has missed football in pre-season. I'm sure they're thinking of changes.
Sakamoto is caught by James Ball in the centre circle. That was not a pleasant challenge. Sakamoto should be picking himself up. Coventry have kept possession. Referee has made note of the challenge, and will come back to that, I assume, the next time the ball goes dead. Sakamoto thankfully back on his feet. Ball teased out by Ben Sheaf to Bidwell. Bidwell for Coventry hits the cross in deep to the far post. It will go out of play, will it? No, it's kept in by Lee Brown on this near side. So James Ball will have to wait to see what the referee has to say about that challenge. Now it screws out of play, and now the referee will book the AFC Wimbledon number 16, and that is no great surprise, Sam Parkin.
No, it's a poor challenge, and I won't say anything as cliched as welcome to the EFL, but for the listeners, Sakamoto is a small in stature, beautiful control, good little drop of the shoulders he's showcased tonight. He's not going to be tackling too many people, and he has been kicked up in the air unceremoniously twice tonight, first minute and then again. So yeah, rightfully booked there. He looks like a lovely player actually, Sakamoto, doesn't he, Dance?
He does, I fully agree. And your little David Silva description, I mean, he's not David Silva yet, but he's certainly got that frame, that gait, that's very similar to the recently departed Manchester City legend, who's, I think, retired from football now, I think, David Silva, having gone back to his native Spain for the last couple of years. Coventry 1, AFC Wimbledon 0. We've played just over an hour on talksport 2. Here is Sakamoto with his back to goal, 25 yards out. He was trying to hold it up and find a teammate. Now, clattering challenge from Lewis Binks on El-Hamadi, and that is just a free kick. El-Hamadi's just picking himself off the turf. I think the referee thought that's just a 50-50 challenge, and there's no need for any further punishment than just a free kick for the home side. What make you of that, Sam Parkin?
I think a challenge that a defender, when the ball's in the air, he's rubbing his hands together, and he knows that he's going to get there probably just before the Wimbledon centre forward and clatter into him and get away with it, and he did.
Double change being readied by Johnny Jackson down beneath us, Josh Nerfield and Josh Davison. are going to be coming on. Here's Harry Pell, finds El Hamady at the edge of the area, just couldn't control it before Liam Kelly got back and snapped the ball away from him. Sakamoto brings it clear for Coventry out to this near touchline. Lovely drop of the shoulder, then he's clipped by James Ball, who's just got booked for a challenge on him early. He's got to be careful, James Ball. That wasn't as crude a challenge as the earlier one, but he might be on a final warning there, Sam. But here come the changes, and Alan Sasu is coming off to allow that first change to bring on Josh Davison and Josh Nerville. And the other change, we'll see El Hamady come off, who's run himself ragged, but hasn't had many chances tonight.
He looks a little bit short, I think, dancing fitness, that real sharpness, and I think that's a product of what happened back end of last season, missing games, and again having a little bit of a fragmented pre-season, so his touch is a little bit loose, but all the attributes again I think apparent to me tonight. Josh Davison covers so much ground, real good team player, capable of getting you a goal. Josh Nerville was a really interesting one, and so he was at Luton, had a really good loan spell at Sutton. They like him a great deal here, and I saw him in pre-season. He's got a bit, he can go either way, can go on the outside and deliver left-footed, and I think he's a right-footed player, so he'll come inside and get shots away. But
yeah, he's replaced Sasu on that left-hand side.
Sasu did well again.
Yes, he did. Sam Parkin, former Swindon and Luton striker, alongside me, Ian Danter, here at the Cherry Red Record Stadium. You're listening to talksport 2, home of the EFL and home of loads of live football, along with talksport of all the competitions this season. Don't forget the Women's World Cup quarter-finals Saturday morning from 11 o'clock here on talksport 2. England against Colombia. Faye Carruthers, Joe Shen and Leanne Sanderson, your commentary team for that match down under. Now, on halfway, Coventry City in possession. Bristol City have a fifth against Oxford. They're definitely going through. Kai Naismith makes it Bristol City 5, Oxford United 1. Ben Sheaf looks up to the edge of the area for Haji Wright, but the Coventry number 11 couldn't control the ball. Lovely touch from Tilly, and Jake Reeves runs onto the ball. Suddenly it's 3-on-3 for a moment for AFC Wimbledon. Davison gets his first touch down the right wing. Pell's calling for a cross at the far post. Davison drives for the byline, hits the cross against the defender, and it goes behind for an AFC Wimbledon corner. 1-0 down, the home side are with 25 minutes to go on talksport 2.
Yeah, that's what he's all about, Davison. His hustle and bustle, pulling into wide position, so as soon as he takes receipt of the ball there, it's just about getting the opponent in the 18-yard box, see if you can create something, and they're just about stand up to the task to concede the corner.
Lee Brown's corner from the far side, left-footed in-swinger right on the 6-yard line. It's only half cleared by Howley. Hit his own player, comes back to Brown on that far side, and Sakamoto puts a foot in, so he goes behind for a second corner in quick succession to AFC Wimbledon.
Latibodia just had a hold of Josh Nerville there at the edge of the 6-yard box, central position, just stopped him from making any movement towards the ball.
And there's lots of pushing and shoving, and referee Kitchen's got a bit of work to do here, and he's going to have a word with a couple of players. Specifically, he's having a chat with Josh Davison, who's standing right on the goalkeeper, Brad Collins. So here comes the corner kick from Brown once again, left-footed in-swinger, again into the near post, headed up and out this time by Sheaf, brought down by Van Evik, looking for Sakamoto, trying to break away down the left-hand side, but the ball drifts away from him, and so AFC Wimbledon have another throw, and they're getting on with it here, the home side. They're a goal down, trying to get themselves level in this Carabao Cup first-round tie. League 2 against Championship. There will be another throw, but before the throw is taken, Coventry are making a couple of further changes, and Casey Palmer and Ellis Sims are those who Mark Robbins has summoned from the subs bench, and Ryan Howley is coming off, having made his first start for the club tonight. What have you made of his performance at centre-half, Sam Parkin?
I thought he responded to a really tricky opening to the game ever so well. Could have gone under there, playing against a good young player. I think the people at Wimbledon believe Sasu could be the next cab off the rank, if you like, the next one to attract interest that's come through their academy. So I thought he did well, got skinned early on, that created that opportunity for Tilly, but settled down, defended quite well in one-on-one situations, and also showed that he's got a decent range of passing, which you need to have if you're going to play in Coventry's back line.
So Sims is on for Godden, and Howley has come off for Palmer to come on, so there'll be a shift in personnel. The system might stay the same, but they're going to have to play somebody else at centre-half. I think it's going to be Bidwell who's going to play as a left-sided centre-half, and Sakamoto is going to go out to the left wing-back position for the remainder of this game. We're into the last quarter of the match. AFC Wimbledon 0, Coventry City 1 on talksport 2. And Coventry have a throw that Latibogier has in his hands, level with the edge of his own penalty area, just down to the left from our commentary position. Does look that way, doesn't it, Sam, that Sakamoto's gone to the left wing-back position and Bidwell's pushed one in field?
Yeah, so kind of unrecognisably for them, Coventry having Bidwell in there, the left and back, for experienced player though.
Yeah,
knows I'm sure how to play that role, no problem at all, for 20 minutes.
Of course, he's got Jay De Silva for competition for his place on that left-hand side, Jake Bidwell, this season for Coventry. And here's Liam Kelly for the Sky Blues. Finds Casey Palmer, who we spoke about before kick-off. Coventry lost the ball, and then they immediately give possession up inside the AFC Wimbledon half. Pell in the centre circle, brings it down for the hosts, strokes it out to the right-hand side. Ball downfield, a chance for a cross maybe from the right-hand side from Ogundiri. It's swept in left-footed, head up in the end. Nerfield might get there first. It's volleyed away instead by Van Ewijk. Haji Wright tries to bring it down, but ball just dribbled away from his foot, and AFC Wimbledon win it back. It's still only 1-0, Sam Parkin. That jeopardy's still there for Coventry.
I think both teams actually, Dan, have defended the box really well. When the ball's got wide and gone in, centre-half generally have been on top. Coventry's main threat throughout the piece tonight has been that slickness through the middle of the pitch, through the heart of Wimbledon in build-up phase. So Hamer getting the ball, the front two combining and playing down the sides of the centre-halves, in between full-back and centre-back. When the ball's gone wide and Wimbledon have been asked to defend, I think the two centre-halves have done excellently, and so far Wimbledon not really able to lay a glove on that Coventry back three when the ball's gone in from wide positions. So
Casey Palmer drifting away from Nerfield as Coventry come forward down their left-hand side. Sakamoto has now changed positions on the number 10 position. Palmer trying to drive in field, but AFC Wimbledon won it back only temporarily. Sheaf looks for Sakamoto out on the left wing once again. Ogundiri closing down the space, so back it goes towards halfway. Bidwell strokes it in field to Kelly, back to Bidwell once again. Now Ben Sheaf gets his head up infield to Kelly once more, centre of the Wimbledon half, but he loses out. But then Wimbledon can't keep possession as they try to bring it clear. It was Nerfield who couldn't hang on to it. So Sheaf again looks to tease the ball down the left for Sakamoto. What's the cross like? The cross is deep, cuts out almost everybody, goes to the far post of the near side to us, and Van Ewijk gets the better of Lee Brown. Van Ewijk with a cross into the near post and right, plants ahead of the wrong side of the post for Coventry, and Wimbledon have a goal kick. Just less than 20 minutes to go. It's still AFC Wimbledon 0, Coventry City 1 on talksport 2.
Well, he's continuing to get the chances right, isn't he? Just couldn't convert there. I think he should. Once more he's advanced at the near post, so it's all about the direction, I suppose, the angle of the header, and he just has to glance that towards the target and it would have flashed past Sanev. Got too much on it.
Jake Reeves lays it off to Ogundiri. Now Tilly trying to burst through the middle of the pitch. Reeves picks it up for AFC Wimbledon, right hand side, now to the right hand corner of the box, and Josh Davison has to lay it off to Ogundiri, who runs into a 50-50 with Ellis Sims. And the ball's out of play and Coventry have a throw. Don't forget 03717 22 33 44. That gets you through to Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy, who from 10 o'clock tonight on TalkSport open up the sports bar once again, and they will of course have details of the second round of the Carabao Cup draw, which will take place after the full-time whistles have gone tonight. Just so you know, Birmingham City are ball number 2. That's who to fear. And I'm only half joking. Play up Sky Blues singing again from the Coventry fans to our left-hand side. They're edging through to the next round, Coventry City, having gone out in round 1 the last couple of years. The best they ever did, Coventry, was the semi-finals in 89 and 90. They lost to Nottingham Forest in a two-legged semi-final. Only, 2 or 3 years after they'd won the FA Cup with Keith Houchen's famous diving header against Tottenham Hotspur on a glorious sunny day at Wembley. Wimbledon, for their part, since they've reformed, their best performance was getting to round 3 2 seasons ago. They beat Charlton and Northampton before losing 3-0 at Arsenal, which is no disgrace. But they're going out here unless they can find a route back into this time. They're only a goal down to Coventry, and we have just over a quarter of an hour to play. Can they force that one important chance, AFC Wimbledon? They've made those changes up front. They've brought on Davison and Nerfield to try and add a different dynamic. Mark Robbins stands at the edge of his technical area, hands in pockets, quite content, I think, the Coventry manager, largely speaking, with what he's seen from his side tonight. The shock, as it stands, is not on. Here's Lati Bogier for the Sky Blues, playing a 1-2 with Casey Palmer. Under pressure from Pell, works it back to halfway and Binks. Lovely turn from Ben Sheaf to get away from Reeves. Driving forward Sheaf to the edge of the area, and then he gets the pass all wrong. Not sure who he was looking for, whether he was looking to slide in Hadji Wright inside the box or flick it right to Van Ewijk on the right hand side of the penalty area. Got caught in two minds, and it's an AFC Wimbledon goal kick. 1-0 to Coventry.
It's a beautiful turn, and then we're perfectly positioned here. Just zing that towards the far post. Right footed, it was on. It wasn't being closed particularly quickly, and just tried, he was too close to goal to slide Hadji Wright in there. So sometimes you feel that the space is there, I think, when you're out there, but in reality it would have had to have been the most exquisitely weighted pass.
Lati Bogier out to this near side, the right hand side, and Van Ewijk. That was Sam Parkin you hear alongside me. Ian Dancer. Sam's got a cracking EFL podcast every week, What the EFL, with our other good friend Adrian Clark. Every Monday they'll bring you a roundup of the EFL stories, and we have our own EFL show Monday night on talksport 2, EFL All Access with Hugh Rosencroft, every Monday night from 7. I'm sure Sam will guest as part of that show as the season goes on. Here's Casey Palmer on as a substitute. Lovely crossfield ball left to right to pick out Van Ewijk, who's been caught off the ball by Lee Brown. Meanwhile, Hadji Wright wins a throw, and there's a few more changes being readied by Johnny Jackson just down beneath us, Sam. He's going to roll the dice, I think, and try and get that equaliser. He's not giving up on this cup tie just yet.
No, you said it a few moments ago, they've not been able to craft that good opportunity. Stuck with the same system, obviously different profile of player now, fresher. Josh Davison, Nerville, he's got a couple more changes up his sleeve here, and they're still in the game, and that's a positive. That's what they'll be saying down there.
Yeah.
Coventry had the chances, I think, in the first half maybe to be further ahead. Matty Godwin in particular could have had 3, so to be here at 1-0 before the night, would you have taken this? Probably against quality opposition.
And they have a corner, Coventry, away to our right hand side in front of the Wimbledon fans in that rest and waste stand here at the Cherry Red Records Stadium. 13 and a half minutes to go on talksport 2. Palmer's corner for Coventry, headed over the bar by Wright and drifts out as if being kept in play. It wasn't over the bar, it was straight back to Casey Palmer, who gets to the byline and wins another corner. It was an optical illusion, that header from Hadji Wright. I thought it was sailing over the crossbar, but it sailed back out to where the corner had been taken from. Still 1-0 Cov.
Again, defending set pieces really well, defending balls in from the wide positions absolutely perfectly, Wimbledon to this point.
Palmer with another corner, deep to the far post. Nobody there in a sky blue shirt. Sakamoto giving chase, but the opposite number 7, Tilly, gets there first and wins a throw for AFC Wimbledon. Omar Bugil coming on shortly for the hosts. Ipswich have a second against Bristol Rovers. Sonny Aluko making it Ipswich 2, Bristol Rovers 0 at Portman Road. So Ipswich 2-0 up, Leeds 2-1 up. Cardiff and Colchester, I think, we're sharing 4 goals with a 2-2 draw. Indeed, it is still 2-2. Leicester 2-0 up at Burton. Louis Binks under pressure from Josh Davison as AFC Wimbledon try and press the ball as Coventry had it at the edge of their own penalty area. Visitors get it out towards the halfway line. Neat cushion header from Sheaf finds Kelly. Palmer goes down, wins a free kick. He was caught by Lee Brown, and that will allow, before the free kick is taken, Johnny Jackson to make these two further changes. Harry Pell has done his duty, and he's coming off, and replacing him is Armani Little, who's a very different sort of midfield player, Sam Parkin.
Yeah, I know they were desperate to get him back after last season, what he showed, and he'll go into the midfield. And Ugo actually is quite intelligent in the way that he can drop off the front. More of an out-and-out forward, of course, than Harry Pell, but probably the one that will be tasked on picking up one of the deep-lying Coventry midfielders, but knows the League Two level inside out. Thought he was a really good player for Sutton United, so interesting pick-up, interested to see how he goes.
And he's come on for James Ball, who was just on that little bit of a yellow card tightrope. Here is Bugil getting involved straight away, sliding in to win the ball back. Brings Ogundiri into the game. Fans getting a bit more behind their team here at the Cherry Red Record Stadium. A throw goes Wimbledon to a midway point of the Coventry half, over on the far side of the field. Ogundiri looking for a target. Just short of him is Reeves. Reeves looks for Ogundiri again down the right hand side. What's the cross like? Deflected. Out for a corner off Sakamoto to AFC Wimbledon. Just over 10 to play, and Coventry still 1 up. Corner's taken short and rolled back to the middle of the half, where it's picked up by Little, but then given away. Coventry have it back. Casey Palmer looks early for Haji Wright, showing good pace down the right hand side. Sims is the only man in the box with him. Haji Wright turns inside the defender, went for goal from a tight angle, and it was blocked behind by Joe Lewis for a Coventry corner now at the right hand end.
It's brilliant, the initial play. Lovely for Casey Palmer to get his head up and see a centre forward with that mobility, that pace, driving towards the opponent's goal, telling Casey Palmer exactly where he wants the ball. But when he's cut in field, got to square it for Ben Sheaf. Perfectly positioned, arriving, just set it back, and he's got a free strike on goal.
Palmer with another corner. This one's a bit of a grubber along the floor and cleared away at the near post by an AFC Wimbledon defender. Drops on the halfway line, and Coventry have it back with Kelly. Into the last 10 minutes, Coventry lead 1-0 on talksport 2 in this cup tie against League 2 AFC Wimbledon. Now striding forward, Jake Bidwell slides it up to the edge of the area. Held up well by Haji Wright. Tries to turn goalwards. Palmer goes for goal. Blocked on its way in. Owen Sims does the follow-up. Saved by the legs of Nick Zanev. That looked to all the world like it was going to be 2-0 with a tap-in for Ellie Sims. But Nick Zanev had other ideas.
Well, that'll be the big moment if FC Wimbledon can find an equaliser. Zanev makes a mess of the first shot, doesn't he? Should have held that, spilt it, but then the reaction to make the save from Sims was absolutely superb from the Wimbledon goalkeeper.
So it stays 1-0 on talksport 2, and Wimbledon still have a slim hope of getting back into this side. But once again Palmer looks for right into the area, almost treads on the ball. He's still got it, goes for goal with a shot deflected over the bar. Corner kick. It's not Haji Wright's night so far. It is a corner kick to Coventry.
We are watching a player, a new signing, with all the raw ingredients though, aren't we? Apart from that final little touch, final little bit of composure. Love the running towards goal every time, running towards the post, inside the post, and getting found really quick off the mark. Just looks a little bit short of that final decision making, or is it the sharpness? I think Mark Robbins will be really pleased what he's seen from him, but also he's going to have a lot of work to do on the training ground to just polish what looks like a real rough diamond.
Scored 16 last season in Turkey. Palmer with the latest corner, goes to the far post. Tilly will hack the ball clear. Davison gives chase for AFC Wimbledon, but Sakamoto got there first, puts it out for a throw. Yeah, Haji Wright was playing for Antalyaspor in Turkey last season. 16 and 29 appearances. He's got a couple of goals for the USA as well.
And Coventry fans will tell you as well that it didn't happen overnight with Gyökeres.
Yeah,
I know that. He was a bit of a slow burner. Maybe not in terms of what he was contributing to the team, but certainly wasn't getting the goals early on.
He was on loan at first from Brighton, wasn't he? I think once he felt the love that he was getting from Coventry, then he blossomed.
I remember seeing him prior to that at Swansea. Steve Cooper wasn't getting the game, so it took a little bit of time, but I like what I've seen from Haji Wright in that he's getting on goal for fun. Doesn't really want to come and link it. He's on the shoulder, put me in.
Here's another debut, Ryan McLean, who's joined from Hereford in June, a winger. Scored a few goals as well whilst he was playing for the Bulls. 23 years of age. He's on for James Tilley for one last throw of the dice from Johnny Jackson, because it is still 1-0 to Coventry City with less than 7 minutes to play on talksport 2. I'm not sure how much, if anything, you've seen of Ryan McLean, having come from non-league, Sam.
No, but I think it also just shows, Dance, like the scouting here. They've got it seriously in place now. I think it wasn't obviously something that they'd had really positioned before the last 6 months or so. What I will say though, what a wonderful bit of scouting to get Al Hamady from what Wycombe's reserves, I think it was. So
that's right.
They were doing something right previously, but I think there's more people in the building now. They're looking at that side of things and obviously signing players from different levels.
6 minutes to go. Coventry going through with this slender 1-goal advantage given to them early in the first half with Matt Godden's penalty. Johnny Jackson's shuffled his pack. He's brought on lots of attacking talent to try and draw the game level, but here come Coventry with Haji Wright down the right hand side of the penalty area. Lee Brown is sticking close to him, and across comes McLean, the recent arrival, and puts the ball out of play for a Coventry throw. But the ball's down the end of the pitch that the Cov players want it to be, in the Wimbledon defensive third.
Yeah, might not be the most pertinent point, but how much would Mark Robbins would have loved these strikers all to score tonight. Sims and Haji Wright to get up and running. Yes, win the game, that's the most important thing, but going up to playing Middlesbrough at the weekend.
Well, Sakamoto's going to go for goal from 30 yards on the half volley, always rising. Good connection, but just couldn't keep it down.
You don't want that to go on too long, do you? Especially new signings. You want to get that goal early. You want to get that confidence. 3-0 tonight with all the strikers on the score sheet. What a place to be in. And we're looking at a scenario where, listen, the jury's not out on many of the players at this stage of the season, but you're thinking could be sitting on a couple of goals now. Sims certainly, Wright could have had a hatful tonight. Not quite there, but I always think that's the last thing to come, Dance. In pre-season, you can get all the fitness, you can get the possession play, you can get the build-up. It's that final bit of sharpness.
McLean down the left-hand side of the box for Wimbledon, pulls the ball back, goes beyond Davison, drops for Bugil! It's 1-1! And Omar Bugil strikes it low underneath Brad Collins. The youngster McLean involved on his first appearance for AFC Wimbledon, and the League Two side have drawn it level with 4 minutes to go, and it was a clinical finish from Omar Bugil for his first AFC Wimbledon goal. A cracker. It's 1-1.
What a finish. Didn't have to think about it. Came to him so quickly. It's just get over it, get contact. Absolutely perfect. It's dispatched beyond Brad Collins. He's got no chance diving to his left. It's half cleared, wasn't it, the cross from McLean? I think it was Kelly who just kind of dangled a leg at it on the half volley. Stinger from Bugil. Beautiful strike.
There were one or two people on the far side of the ground drifting towards the exits. They're back in now, the Wimbledon fans, because it's all square on talksport 2, and as it stands, we're 3 minutes plus added time away from penalty kicks here at the Cherry Red Record Stadium. So it was a slender lead after all for Coventry City, and here come Wimbledon. They might try and win it here. McLean again down the left wing, stops level with the edge of the area, rolls it back to Little with a deep cross. Davison goes up with the header, well punched clear by Brad Collins. Goes out of play for a throw. Wimbledon fancy this. Throw taken up to the edge of the area. Good run down the right-hand side of the box by Amari Little, but the ball just skips away from him and behind for a Coventry goal kick. Now, how much ambition did Coventry show to try and win the game and prevent penalties at this point?
What a last few minutes set up. I mean, fans, management, players, Coventry won't believe or understand how they haven't got that second goal cushion. They've had good chances in the second half and it didn't really look like there was one coming for Wimbledon.
Ellis Sims running through the middle now, but out comes the goalkeeper Sanif and heads it half clear, kept in play by Brown. And maybe we'll look back at that chance that Ellis Sims had with that save from the legs of Sanif when it was 1-0 as a crucial point in this cup tie. But here's Casey Palmer looking for Sims once again, drifts away from Sims, volleyed away by Joe Lewis, and it's Bugil who's onto it and looks for Josh Davison down the left-hand side. Takes Binks out with him. Binks brings him down. Free kick AFC Wimbledon. Only a yard or two in from the left-hand touchline and almost level with the Coventry box. 90 seconds of normal time to go. And Binks has just stayed down, but the referee's saying, if you want treatment, you're going to have to stay up for 30 seconds. So maybe that will inspire Louis Binks to get up. Anyway, free kick, Sam, for AFC Wimbledon.
Yeah, perfect scenario that for Wimbledon. Bugil dropping in. Good composed pass down the line. Davison's got that mobility, got that drive. Aggressive runner. Gets a free kick in a dangerous position. Well, just to put Coventry under more pressure now is Philip for AFC Wimbledon and their supporters. They've maintained this little spell of pressure after the goal.
Jake Reeves with the free kick on this left-hand side. Coventry holding their line at just inside the edge of the area. Reeves raises both arms, drives it deep to the far post. Bugil goes up for a header. It's well headed away by Ellis Sims. Comes out to McLean on the right-hand side. Nerfield's there with him. Nerfield drops the shoulder, tries to cross in, just gone behind Josh Davison, who was flying in at the far post, and the ball just sailed past his right shoulder and out of play for a Coventry throw. 1-1.
Just too high, wasn't it? And probably a little tug from Liam Kelly did for Josh Davison there. I think when it left Nerville's foot, he thought he was prized just to nod that home at the far post, but just lost it a little bit in the air.
6 minutes of minimum added time at the end of the 90. That's what separates us from a potential penalty shootout here in southwest London. Live on talksport 2. AFC Wimbledon 1, Coventry City 1. Omar Bugil with his first goal for his new club, equalising Matt Godden's first half penalty. Sims and Ryan Johnson getting involved in a bit of a argy-bargy as Sims tried to chase down a long ball downfield for Coventry. Wimbledon have it back with Reeves. Ogundiri hits a diagonal ball infield. It's flicked on by Josh Davison, but it won't find an AFC Wimbledon teammate. It's back with Lati Bogier for Coventry. Back to his goalkeeper Collins to our left-hand side. He clips it out left-footed, but over the head of Sakamoto. And it's a throw to AFC Wimbledon, who are looking more likely here, amazingly. Sam Parkin.
Yeah, they are. They've maintained this little spell of pressure since finding that equaliser. Coventry played a bit more on the counter-attack, given they've got two good physical centre forwards now, which they can get hit quite early, and the game's getting a little stretched. Wimbledon committed a few more men forward.
Well, Josh Eccles has just come on to replace Milan Van Evik. Colchester down to 10 men. It's still 2-2 in their game with Cardiff. That's heading for penalties. This is heading for penalties. And just for those that aren't aware, after 90 minutes, the clock used to stop in grounds as the cross comes in from the right. Volleyed in by McLean. Oh my goodness! My goodness! What a debut for Ryan McLean! He's won the tie surely for AFC Wimbledon. Volleying the ball in at the far post. Deep cross from the right. McLean running in. What a moment for the kid who's come from non-league. He's just dumped Coventry City out of the League Cup, it seems. AFC Wimbledon 2, Coventry City 1.
What an amazing finish. Can't tell you how difficult that is, first and foremost, to control that. Right hand side, Ogundiri with the delivery, and then gets there unopposed, probably edge of the 6-yard box, and he just side foots it, gets elevation, which always looks nice as well, and takes it back in the opposite direction to which Bradley Collins is diving, gets his fingertips to it, but it nestles in the side netting. Beautiful angle we've got here, Dan. It's a sumptuous finish from the young man. Brilliant goal.
He scored 14 goals in 80 odd appearances at Hereford, but that will be a goal that he will remember for many, many years to come. Ryan McLean has put AFC Wimbledon on the brink of round 2. 3 minutes of the minimum 6 have elapsed, and I was about to say that you see the added time on the clocks now in the stadiums. You didn't used to. The clock used to stop at 90 minutes dead, but now the fans know how much of the added time has been played. I think that's a good thing. 2-1 AFC Wimbledon. McLean on his debut, getting involved. He's down this near touchline. He's got 2 Coventry players. The company's trying to kick the ball in play at the corner flag. Loses out in the end, and Coventry have a throw. And now Coventry really have got to get going. Otherwise they are going out for a 3rd year in a row at the round 1 stage. Little touch from Jake Reeves to keep it away from Coventry players on halfway, and then it's spooled out of play by Lee Brown, and the multi-ball system is being used by Josh Eccles. They want to get the ball back into play, stealing a few yards, I think it's fair to say. He's told to go back, gets the ball back into play. Coventry have got to find a goal from somewhere, but they've just given the ball up. Ben Sheep loses out to Bagil, who got the equaliser, finds Nerfield, right hand corner of the box. Nerfield hits a strike, it's blocked away. McLean's on the follow-up. Now Jake Reeves hustles toward the edge of the area, loses out, and then the ball's hit against the Wimbledon boot and out for a goal kick. And now Brad Collins is in a real hurry to get the ball back into play. 2-1 the score to AFC Wimbledon. The shock of the night is on here in southwest London. What have Coventry got left in these last, 90 seconds or so perhaps? We've just ticked round to 95 minutes, and it's another goal kick to Coventry. Ball's down the wrong end of the field now for them, Sam Parkin.
Yeah, need to get it forward. Just thinking there, you hope when you put substitutions on they're going to have this effect. Well, Bugil and McLean in particular, well, they got the goals, but Bugil's performance since he's come on as well, set his stall out from his first touch, been excellent, impacted the game straight away.
And Josh Davison put himself about a bit as well, holds the ball up right hand side of the box. He's dispossessed in the end. Coventry have got 30 seconds of minimum stoppage time left to do something about this scoreline, otherwise they're going out. Casey Palmer tries to lob the ball over the head of a midfielder, can't do so. It's got to go deep downfield from Binks. He finds Eccles, he does hit it long downfield, looking for Ellis Sims, goes over his head, headed clear by Ryan Johnson. AFC Wimbledon almost there. Ball's out of play for a Coventry throw, left hand side on halfway. Sakamoto immediately gets it in play. Ipswich are through against Bristol Rovers. Lati Baudier brings the ball forward. There will be time to add on to minimum stoppage time because the goal went in stoppage time from McLean. Now Eccles peels away to the right hand side of the box, lobs the ball into the area. Half volley up in the air by Johnson, not fully clear. Coventry try and head it back into the box. Johnson there again, drops for Sakamoto on the half volley, and it's brilliantly blocked by Ogundiri. Out to the left hand side, Ben Sheep rolls the ball in field. Liam Kelly 30 yards out for Coventry, up to the edge of the area. Sims on the turn, brilliant save, Sanev. Oh, what a save to keep AFC Wimbledon in front. Lovely hit on the turn from Ellis Sims. Well, what a save, Nick Sanev. Corner Coventry.
Amazing save, one-handed, that away to his left-hand side. Instinctive effort from Sims. I'm surprised that he reacted in time, the goalkeeper. Bit of height on the shot, looks like he's going to find the roof of the net. Great stop.
Palmer's corner into the near post, headed out for a throw. The full-time whistle goes, and League 2 AFC Wimbledon have knocked out Championship Coventry.